Hassan, who's visiting with us right at Volunteer Village. And this really is a village to put on this kind of an event, 2,000 volunteers. What kind of commitment do you expect a volunteer to have here every year at this event?
Yeah, so really it depends on the position of the volunteer. We have chairmen who pretty much work all day, every day, and even before and after the tournament. We have some committees that are out here year round. From a regular volunteer standpoint, we require 3 shifts a week. One of those has to be on a weekend shift, and those could be morning shifts or afternoon shifts, some early, some later in the day.
What kind of attitudes are you looking for from your volunteers?
Great question. So, a lot of our volunteers are the first face that a spectator or a player will see. So, we want someone who's out here for the right reasons, out here to support our Northeast Florida community, and that's really what the ultimate result is. Charitable dollars back into Northeast Florida.
And is that how you got involved, was volunteering?
Absolutely, yeah. I started out in general parking. First 2 years I was out
Oh,
here, I didn't even see the inside of the gates.
you're baking in the heat, right?
That's right.
Well, since you did parking before, what's your view of kind of seeing how big this has become through the years and the patience that people are going to need if they're driving in right now, either on A1A or through Nocatee?
Yeah, so we are fortunate to still have on-site parking. A lot of tournaments do not have on-site parking, so I know sometimes traffic can be bad, but just having that is truly a bonus for this tournament. Lee Smith, executive director, mentioned the other day that from 2013 to 2003 to 2016, the tournament doubled in size. From 2016 to 2024, it doubled again, and they're anticipating it to double again by 2028.
Wow.
Yeah, so with those types of crowds coming in, infrastructure changes on the property. We have the new Global Home, the new PGA Tour studios. Both of those buildings took up some of the capacity for parking. So it will continue to change, and I'm just glad we have it while we do.
Yeah, and probably glad that you're not part of the planning from the county about how the heck are we going to accommodate all that traffic.
Yes, yes, that is a meeting I got to sit on this year, and it is a very collaborative meeting, and a lot of planning does go into it. So, fire rescue, St. John's Sheriff's Office, everybody involved, DOT. It's really a concerted effort to make sure things run as smoothly as possible.
So, how does one go from volunteering baking in the heat to the tournament chairman where you're wearing the red coat?
Yeah, no, great question. So all of the past chairmen are involved in, continuing to make sure the tournament is run right. The volunteers have the support they need, and one of their functions is to identify future leadership potential volunteers. So I worked for about 10 years. No, excuse me, it would have been about 8 years before being interviewed by the past chairman to be selected as the new vice chairman for the tournament. And so they pick 2, 3, maybe 4 people every year that have shown leadership skills, really a love for volunteering, and basically all the qualities they need. They'll select somebody, and then it's essentially a 6-year commitment. So you start as a vice chairman over volunteer services, which are all the volunteer committees. After that, you go to facilities, which are things like course prep, construction, general parking, onto spectator services, which oversees all the hospitality venues on site, admissions, things along those lines. From there, you move to player services, so everything from picking up players from the airport to practice grounds, anything player centric. And then your 5th year, you are first vice chairman. So you have a few committees. You have EVAC, tournament support, which is kind of our Swiss Army knife that fills in where needed, and then Players Pride that recognizes volunteers that have done an exceptional job throughout the week. And then outside of those 3 committees that they run, you're basically overseeing everything else. And then the chairman that year does a lot of speaking engagements, make sure the first vice has the support and guidance they need, et cetera, et cetera.
Seems like this is all about service to others. Do you ever get to watch golf?
Not yet. My family comes out and they get to enjoy it.
Okay.
They've been reaping the benefits, so to speak. But next year I plan to watch some golf.
Okay. But service to others, it's really part of the overall mission here, it seems like, making sure that everyone who passes through has a really great experience in addition to the golf, which you can't control. Who's going to win, the leaderboard, all those things, the weather and all the, but you can control just about everything else around the actual tournament itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So since its inception over the past 50 plus years, the players has given $120 million back to Northeast Florida charities. And that could not be done without the volunteers. Last year, we put in a little over 68,000 man hours, which translate to charitable dollars. If the volunteers weren't here, those would be vendor services that the tour would have to pay for. And so, you can do the math on that. It's real numbers for our community.
Is the hope from one chairman to the next, the first vice chair, Kevin Copeland, that you'll be able to exceed the number of charitable dollars given, and then Kevin will try to beat that, and then the next person, just to continue to try to build it and make it a competitive sort of thing?
Yeah, we always want to do more. We don't have a number sitting out there that we hit every year. But the more we can do to support the tournament as volunteers, the more we can give back to the community. And as the tournament grows, the need for volunteers grow. So this year's number of volunteers was a little bit higher than last year. So as functions happen, as new activations on the course happen, things like that, we've got to fill those needs.
Favorite spot on the course?
Ooh, good question. I mean, it's pretty easy to say 17 in the bowl, right? I mean, that's where the Military Appreciation Day happens. That's where the concert happens. That's where all the hole-in-one and the cheering comes from. So that's a fantastic spot. But there are little nooks and crannies on the back of the course that people don't stray to unless you're an avid golfer and really like to walk the entire course. So getting back by a hole 4, 5, 6, on the other side 13, 12. Those are spots that people don't think to walk to, and I would highly recommend people getting back there and seeing those unique course holes.
We'll look for you around the course through the course of the weekend, and maybe you'll have an eye on like the finishing couple of holes on Sunday. Marc Hassan, tournament chairman at the Players. Thanks for the visit. Appreciate all you do.
Thank you.
Jacksonville's Morning News continues live at TPC Sawgrass at 9:43.